Hello and welcome to the Wisdom Audio online learning. Today we're going to talk about how to configure the Wisdom Audio system controller for a 2.0 system. Just a very basic system, no subwoofer, no surround channels, just a left and a right stereo speaker. Before I start on that, I want to remind everybody that you can always access our website, and if you are looking for information, for example, on an SC2 or an SC3, if you scroll down to electronics under the product tab, scroll over to SC3, that will give you all kinds of information. And at the very bottom, there's resources for system controller info sheet, current draw for all of our electronics, BTU information, RS-232 information, also the owner's manual. The resource tab up here will actually take you right to the bottom of that if you want to do that as well. With that, we're going to go right into our unit. We are inside of the unit, which we have previously explained in other videos on this training series. So this is the SC3. We've got 16 input channels, 32 output channels. And when you get into the inside of the SC2 or the SC3, you'll see the tabs across the top. And setup becomes pretty simple because you just have to go from left to right. And as you go through each tab, then when you go to the next one, that's the next step in setting up one of our system controllers. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to establish our zones. Because this is a single zone system, we're just going to create one zone. And because it's a stereo system, I'm going to rename it the stereo room, and always save your changes. Now we're going to go to our inputs, and this is where we're going to assign the number of inputs that we want to have. You can click on here, and this will allow you to go up or down, create as many inputs as you need. Since we're just using stereo, we're just going to create two inputs, a left channel and a right channel. Over here where it says input name, that's where there's a little drop down menu, and you just click on a left, and input number 2 is our right channel. Again, always hit save changes prior to moving on to the next step. Here is where we're going to actually create our channels. And the channels could also be called your Dirac channels. You have a total of 16 Dirac channels on an SC2 and also 16 Dirac channels on an SC3. Even though an SC3 has 32 outputs, it still has 16 Dirac calibration channels. So our channels are going to be imported from the inputs. So I click on this. There's my left. It's coming in from the left. My right is coming in from the right. It's in the stereo room. And we're just going to simply save that, and that particular tab is now done. Next, we're going to click on speakers, and I'm going to tell it what the speakers are. For this particular setup, we're going to use a pair of L75s, which is a great sounding 2-channel stereo speaker. I've got a left and a right, so I'm going to add 2 speakers, just like here. So the first is the left channel. The second speaker will be the right channel. And since we're using L75s, I'm going to click on the L75s in the speaker type. You'll also notice if you scroll down, we have generic active, generic passive, and generic subwoofers in here. So if you're using another brand of loudspeaker, you can still use our system controller to calibrate and really make them sing. So once I click on the L75 has 3 variants. It has an on-wall, an in-wall, and a freestanding version. So here I'm going to click on the speaker variant, and by the way, the SC2 and the SC3 both know that information, and they will automatically pop it up for you. So this is a freestanding L75. I'm going to use the left channel input since we're on the left speaker. For the low frequency output, the L75s are biamp, so you have a low frequency and a high frequency output. We're going to use output number 1 for the low frequencies, and we're going to use output number 2 for our high frequencies. You'll also note for this particular speaker, the L75, it knows to invert the high frequency drivers automatically. You don't have to remember anything. It will do that for you on every speaker in the Wisdom Audio lineup that requires that. It will do it automatically for you. Now we've got a right speaker. I'm going to choose an L75. Come down here to speaker variant. It's against a freestanding. We're using the right channel input. Here we're going to use outputs 3 and 4, and we're going to save our changes. At this point, if your amplifiers are hooked up and your preamp is hooked up, actually it doesn't even matter if your preamp is hooked up, because we have internal speaker test tones built into both the SC2 and the SC3. At this point, I would simply run some pink noise through the system, each channel individually. Here you can see I've got my left and my right channel. Right now I'd have pink noise on my right channel, pink noise on my left channel. I've confirmed that they're both working properly, so I'm going to go back to normal operation. Before you leave this page, always remember to enable all. At this point, you can have sound and your system will play.